In this video, we're introducing a new theorem regarding the cross product between two vectors. If we have an angle between two vectors that is in between A and B, remember the angle in between two vectors has to be in between 0 and pi radians, which means that when the two vectors are graphed where they share the same initial point, the angle in between those two vectors has to be somewhere in between 0 and pi radians. When we cross product these two vectors, we see that the magnitude of that cross product. Remember, the cross product is a vector itself. So if we were to look at the magnitude of that vector, it would turn out to have the same scalar quantity as mag A times mag B times the sine of theta. This video will not contain the proof. There is an optional proof that will be linked in the lecture notes. So if we accept that this theorem holds true, that the magnitude of the cross product is equal to this scalar quantity, then what we can do is take that scalar quantity over here and divide it by mag A times mag B on both sides. And what we'll see here is that these all cancel out, and we end up with sine theta is equal to this scalar quantity, where we're looking at the magnitude of the cross product that is going to be divided by mag A and mag B. Now this all looks similar to something that we have seen before. The dot product between A and B is equal to a similar looking kind of quantity involving cosine, and similarly, if we were to divide both sides by mag A, mag B, we end up isolating that cosine to get that the cosine of the angle in between two vectors is equal to the dot product of A and B divided by the product of their magnitudes. Now, we often use this theorem here in order to determine the angle between two vectors. So if we have been given vector A and vector B and we want to find the angle in between, traditionally we use this formula instead of using this formula, and that is because if we were to take the inverse cosine of this scalar quantity that we get when we get the dot product and divide by the two magnitudes, that is going to be a scalar quantity. The inverse cosine is going to have an output that is an angle, and that angle has to be in between 0 and pi radians, and this is based on the range restrictions for the inverse cosine function. So we prefer to use inverse cosine in order to find this angle theta because the range restriction matches the restrictions that are on the angle in between two vectors in the first place, right? The angle in between two vectors in the first place have to be in that region as well. So that's why we prefer not to use the sine equation here, because if we were to look at inverse sine of the magnitude of the cross product vector and then divide that by the magnitude of the two vectors themselves, we would get an angle, but the range restriction for inverse sine is actually in between pi over 2 and negative pi over 2, and that's going to give me, angles in the first and the fourth quadrant. Well, that does not match what our angle in between two vectors has to be. We can't have angles in between two vectors that are negative. The definition of an angle in between two vectors is that it's always a positive angle that's somewhere in between 0 and pi. So it's not impossible to use this sine theorem in order to determine the angle in between, but it's a lot more work and better to use the trig function whose range restriction matches what the angles have to be in between two vectors.